someone came to me and said, "You're an architect, aren't you?" So I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, congratulations, we've just bought a cruise ship and we want you to fly out there. This cruise ship is moored on the island of Curacao out in the Caribbean. We want you to fly to the ship and look at it, because we want to completely remodel. We're going to spend millions on this ship because this ship is going to be for delivering new OTA, which is like the highest level that hasn't even been released yet."
Now this is a operating Phaeton level.
Yeah. And they said this level can only be done, Hubbard has written, this level is so powerful, so amazing, that it can, and it's so confidential, it can't even be done on land. It can't even be done on land. It has, Hubbard wrote, it has to be done on a ship in the middle of the ocean so that nothing can upset it, away from all the interbulation of like society. Interbulation meaning, even though you might have an organization in a city, there's traffic, there are cops, there are things that upset, society impacts it, But OT8 is so delicate, nothing can be in distraction, so it has to be done in the middle of the ocean on a ship.
Now at this point, how much auditing had you had by now?
I had pretty much all I had was what I had in London.
So you weren't up to these OT levels?
Oh nowhere, not even close.
So you still had the idea, did you still have the same idea that you had started with, that there were these wonderful powers that people could attain?
Oh yes, I mean I would look at the people at the sandcastle who were doing like OT 6 and 7.
That's where people, Scientologists, come and stay and
right,
fly.
and I would even interview them to see if everything was okay. That was my job, and I was like, oh my God, these people are so cool. And if only I knew what they knew. If only I was doing what they were doing. And they seemed so kind of calm, and they seemed nothing would upset them. They were like, they seemed such calm. I had so much admiration for them. I thought I just can't wait to get to these levels, and these people are so, and out in the world they were like chiropractors, and they had businesses, and they just seemed so they seemed different from other people. So I still had the whole thing up on a plateau, where this all will be worthwhile because we're making these people who are going to solve all of society's problems. So I thought, I was kind of reinvigorated. I thought, wow, this is such an important ship, and OT8 is so important because it's going to solve all the world's problems, I really thought once OT8 start being made, the problems the world has with war and communism and poverty, I thought this would all vanish, I can't even begin to think. I don't even want to go now. It's difficult for me to go to where my mind was at. I kind of shut it off. I think, did I really think that? I can't even go. It's like walking down a long dark corridor, and then you walk down it and you think, did I really believe that stuff? Yes, I did at the time. I believed it, but I don't even now. I don't want to go there. I don't want to admit to you that I believe these people could do all that.
It's like looking at a different person.
Yeah, exactly. And now I know what I know about the true nature of the OT levels, and I'm like, this is what it is, and this is where I had it. I can't even go to where I thought it was so wonderful, because then I start to think, you're an idiot, you're a moron. Like, do you have a brain? I can't believe that I was so gullible. I can't. It's difficult, So anyway, I said, if I can help with that ship, that is the coolest thing. So I flew to the ship, I looked at it, and then, it was like a huge cruise ship. It was like a 13,000-ton cruise ship, 400 foot long, 450 feet long, moored in secret on this island. So I would fly to Miami, and then we would take like a secret flight to Curacao. We arrived in the middle of the night, and we were like driven kind of undercover to this cruise ship. And
Why was it in such secrecy?
Because they told me that, if ever they dared to bring this ship into United States waters, it would be immediately confiscated against taxes, and you know, the United States authorities would seize it as church assets against back taxes.
But why were they telling you something like that?
Because I think they wanted to explain to me the shroud of secrecy. You know, I signed what's called a bond, which means I would immediately give them $10,000 if I revealed the location of the ship. So I'm going, well, come on, guys. You know,
but I mean, why would they feel safe about telling you that there were back taxes? Why would they tell you something like that?
I don't know. I guess they had to come up with some kind of thing for the secrecy that would would satisfy me.
But what I'm saying is, why would they think you would keep that secret for them?
Well, because I'd signed a bond. You know, any information that I released about the ship, I would immediately have to pay $10,000. You know, the location, why it was there. You know, anything, if I revealed any confidential information about it. Did
it ever occur to you that the authorities in the United States should know that this ship was sitting there?
I would never have dreamed of that, you know.
Because you're now protecting Scientology at all costs.
Right, right. You know, so like all through the immigration and leaving the United States and coming back in, we weren't to mention it. You know, we were going to Curacao as tourists, you know. We weren't to mention the Freewinds. Mm-hmm. So anyway, the night I arrived, like late at night, and in a veil of secrecy, I mean, I thought I was James Bond. James Bond, you know, like on a mission. It was so cool, you know. And then you see this huge ship there, and you go, oh my God, the church is so powerful. They have this huge ship they just go out and buy. And like they are just unbelievable. What they can do anything, you know. And this is the ship that is going to save the world. And here I am, arriving at this ship, you know. Oh my God, it was so cool, you know. And
incredible,
yeah. And so anyway, I sleep that night in a cabin. The next day, I'm with this guy called Steve Kazaki, who's like he's in charge of all the renos on the ship. So I meet him. Renovations. I think actually I flew out with him. And he says, well, you know, so they have all these sketches by interior designers, like little sketches on bits of paper. And these are like sacred sketches prepared by like the LRH architect. They have a guy called Barry Stein and his girlfriend, whose name Carol, someone or other, and they are the LRH architect and the LRH assistant architect. I find out they're not actually licensed architects, therefore it's not legal for them to call themselves architects, but, you know, whatever.
But hey.
Hell, it's like, so, anyway. So they show me all these sketches and say, you know, this is the ship now. The ship is just like squalid. It's called La Bohème or something. And it's just like ugly, you know, like brown carpet, blue chairs, green curtains. And it's obviously, it looks like it hasn't seen a lick of paint in 50 years. It's just like, the cabins are just ugly, you know. It's like, you know, what kind of people would go cruising on a ship like this? It's like just horrible, you know. If you compare it to like the QE2 or like, you know, a cruise ship in Miami like Carnival Cruise Lines, it's just a joke. Inside it's so squalid. But they have all these sketches of all these beautiful rooms, of, you know, beautiful restaurants, and you know, they have like the restaurant is on like the lower level deck, and it overlooks all the winches and the anchor, and it's just ugly, you know. And they say this is going to be the new OT8 course room, but we're going to take the restaurant up 3 decks to you know, so it has a great view out to sea. And I go, well, there's a little problem, you know. The galley is down here where the old restaurant was, and the new restaurant is going to be up with the view, but hey, where's the kitchen, guys? They go, yeah, good point. Okay, we'll put in like an elevator to take all the food up. So I'm going, well, you know, a big restaurant, you know, because I've worked on restaurants in England, you know. I say, well, you know, the way you plan in architecture, you have the dining room, you have the kitchen, and you know, there's constant traffic in and out, in and out. You don't send the food up in elevators, flying off the elevator. Come on, guys. Like, why don't you keep the restaurant down here? And, you know, so I'm like being creative with it. I'm like being an architect. I'm saying, okay, guys, come on, keep the restaurant down here next to the kitchen. There's no space up there for the kitchen. You know, function.